They weren't kidnapped from the streets. They weren't victims of war. They were taken by something much closer. Something we let into our homes, our hands, our hearts. It started with a friend request, a funny photo, a dare, a cruel comment. Then it spiraled. By the time anyone noticed, they were already gone. Not in body, but in spirit, in silence, in shame, in the scroll. June 23rd, Washington, D.C. stood still. 246 faces stared back at the world, and the world barely blinked. The 246 children lost to social media. The dark reality big tech doesn't want you to know. The unseen scars. When social media becomes a weapon. They weren't erased in war. They weren't silenced in a courtroom. They were censored in silence while scrolling. From playgrounds to predators. From likes to loss. This isn't fiction. This is what big tech doesn't want you to see. The 246 children lost to social media. The dark reality big tech doesn't want you to know. Paul cyber signing in revealing case file 013. Disclaimer. This video is for educational and awareness purposes only. It contains sensitive themes related to online exploitation, which may be distressing to some viewers. No graphic content is shown. Viewer discretion is advised. All real-world references have been anonymized, and any character representations are either fictionalized or dramatized for illustrative purposes. Our goal is to shed light on the growing threat of cyber-enabled abuse and to promote digital safety, responsible technology use, and support for victims. If you or someone you know is affected by online exploitation, please seek help from a trusted adult or official support service in your country. On June 23rd, the lawn outside the U.S. Capitol stood silent. But it wasn't peace. It was grief. 246 white placards swayed gently in the breeze, each one bearing a child's face, a name, a life lost to the darker corners of social media. This wasn't just a memorial. It was a wake-up call. And if you're a parent, a teen, or someone who scrolls before bed every night, this story is about you. Quick pause. Before we go deeper, tap subscribe to stay ahead of digital traps, scams, and the cybercrime lurking in your timeline. Imagine walking past 246 faces. Not celebrities, not strangers, but children. Some were only 6. Some were bullied until they broke. Others were blackmailed into silence, then vanished under the weight of it. A fee got vanished from pills sold via emojis and DMs. These weren't isolated events. They were patterns. Patterns baked into the systems we use every single day. The memorial is called Social Media Victims Remembrance Day. It doesn't trend, but it should, because every name on those placards could have been someone you know, someone you love. Listen to some parents' heartbreaking conversations on social media post.
If only we said no. No to gadgets at infant age. No to boyfriends at 4. Let them be children. Not content. Yes, but also teach them to love. And to be kind. It starts with us. The problem isn't just what big tech does. It's what we allow. The conversation went on in the comments. Painful truth about parenting and accountability. Stop blaming screens. Start building stronger people. Today's crisis isn't just digital. It's cultural. A generation raised without resilience, taught that discipline is cruelty and consequences are optional, is now collapsing under pressure it was never prepared for. Another comment. The illusion of control via tech. Give your child a phone when you want their childhood to end. Children are being handed devices before they're taught how to process cruelty, failure, or even reality. It's not just about what's on the screen, it's about what's missing in their lives. The danger of ignorance over platforms. Social media is not the problem. Ignorance is. The real threat isn't always the predator behind the profile, it's the spiritual and emotional emptiness that left a door wide open in the first place. Another commented. Failure of institutions. The school system refuses to stop the bullying. These institutions knew. They saw the signs. But silence is easier than accountability. And now, another child is gone. And the comment continues. Parental power and cultural drift. Parents need to start being parents again. Rules aren't oppression, they're protection. Kids don't need unrestricted Wi-Fi. They need boundaries, bedtime, and someone to say, no. A cry for simpler, grounded lives. No internet in my house. No cable. I control what they see. It's radical to say today, but maybe it's time we return to simplicity. To eye contact, dinner tables, and lives not filtered through glass screens. Faith in the unseen battle. Life is spiritual. Without an anchor, we're tossed around like leaves in the wind. Some believe these tragedies reflect something deeper than code and cameras, an unseen spiritual sickness we refuse to name. Cultural fragility and consequences. Entitlement replaced empathy. Emotional fragility went unchecked.
When children are never told no, what happens when the world inevitably says it? Some break quietly. Others vanish into the void. Social media isn't just where we scroll. It's where danger lives. Rings now use AI to fake profiles and lure teens into sending funny pictures, then blackmail them. Hate-filled algorithms push toxic content to keep you angry and online. Dangerous pills dealers use emojis to sell dangerous pills. Kids have overdosed after one message. Endlessly scrolling rewires young brains, affecting attention, sleep, and self-worth. And big tech? They know. They see the data. But they don't stop it because your attention is their currency. Take Isabel, a 13-year-old from Indiana. Smart, shy, loved art. She got a friend request during lockdown from a girl. She thought when a school nearby, they'd bonded, but the girl wasn't real. One day, Isabel was asked to send a funny, private photo. What followed was blackmail, threats, shame, silence. She never told her parents. On January 9th, she took the wrong decision regretfully over her own life. Isabel is now one of the 246 remembered in Washington. Her memorial placard stands while the platform that failed her keeps suggesting her profile to new users. Social media harm isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent. Some say you can't fight the tide of tech. But one parent's quiet refusal says otherwise: no internet, no cable, just boundaries. Because if you don't set the standard at home, the algorithm will. Cyberbullying. A 12-year-old boy died after being called names on Snapchat for weeks. In Nigeria, 17-year-old Chidi was targeted via Instagram DMs by what he thought was a girl. It was a gang. They drained his parents' account before vanishing. Scams. A U.S. teen lost her college savings to a fake crypto investment promoted by an influencer. Misinformation. A high school student was falsely canceled after AI-generated voice messages were shared to ruin her reputation. Privacy breaches. One teen's entire Google history was leaked by a stalker who used a stolen password. Comparison culture. A growing wave of teen girls now suffer from Snapchat dysmorphia, where filters shape their body image and even plastic surgery requests. These stories aren't rare. In fact, 1 in 3 teen girls report that Instagram makes their body image worse. And over 55% of teens say they've been cyberbullied at least once. This isn't just bad luck, it's the business model. Why are so many falling through the cracks? Because the system was never designed for safety. Digital literacy is low. Algorithms favor rage and controversy. Parents often don't know what their kids are exposed to. And privacy is an illusion. This is systemic negligence. From apps that track your kids to features designed to keep them hooked, big tech knows what they're doing. Before all this, childhood meant scraped knees, not broken minds. We ran until the streetlights came on. Played tag, not tap screens. We talked. We fought. We made up. Sure, those days had their problems. But kids weren't checking how many likes their face got. Today, we give toddlers tablets before they can talk. Children scroll more than they speak. Teens compare, compete, and collapse under algorithmic pressure. We traded bikes for filters and freedom for notifications. We often know what's right, but we let the world decide for us through trends, comparisons, and whatever's popular. Sometimes for convenience, other times in the name of freedom. But slowly, Those choices don't just shape our habits. They shape who we become. The impact runs deeper than we realize. It rewires how we think. It silences who we really are. And years later, we look back regretting the life we never lived, wondering how it slipped through our fingers. But it's not too late. Change doesn't need to be perfect. Just humanly right, one step at a time. This doesn't have to be the future. You can control your kids' decisions, which is that they're not allowed to engage with these platforms at early stage. The people who built these platforms don't let their own children use them. That should tell us something. Lock down privacy settings. Teach digital literacy early. Keep open conversations between parents and kids. Limit screen time and create digital free zones. Report, block, and unfollow toxic accounts. Support mental health both offline and on. Advocate for accountability. Join voices calling for tech regulation. And most importantly, don't wait until your child becomes a hashtag. The scars of social media are real, even when we can't see them. To big tech, our attention is a product. But to us, our children are priceless. So let's draw the line. Let's honor the 246. Let's fight for the living. Let's stop confusing engagement with connection. Because silence equals consent. And we are done being silent. Have you or someone you know been affected by the dark side of social media? Drop a comment. Share your story. You're not alone. Hit subscribe. Like if you believe in digital safety. And share this video because awareness saves lives. Together, we can reclaim the internet. One truth at a time. Hall Cyber signing out.